Something's not right in the Green Mountain National Forest. Between 1945 and 1950, people just started vanishing without a trace and no explanation. They weren't wandering off the beaten path and weren't getting lost in the deep woods. These were people who knew the area. Some of them were even experienced hikers. But one by one, they just disappeared.
This all happened in the region of Vermont that's now called the Bennington Triangle. It's a patch of wilderness near Glastonbury Mountain. And it's not just the missing people. This place actually has a long history of weird stuff like bizarre creature sightings, UFOs, and strange lights reported around the area. Even the Native Americans avoided the place, saying that the land was cursed.
And we're not talking about one or two people getting lost in the woods. This was 5 major disappearances that happened in just 5 years, and all under extremely weird circumstances.
It all started on November 12, 1945. A 74-year-old man named Midi Rivers was leading a hunting group near Hell Hollow, which, yeah, it's a great name for a place people go missing. Rivers was an experienced outdoorsman. He knew the area like the back of his hand, but at some point, he got ahead of the group and just walked a little too far forward.
And that was it. He was gone. Just like that. With no struggle or no sound. The hunting party searched for him. More people came out to look, but nothing was ever found except one thing. A single rifle cartridge in a stream nearby. And that was it. No body, no footprints, no signs of an animal attack. He just vanished.
A year later, it happened again. December 1st, 1946. An 18-year-old college student named Paula Wilden went hiking near Long Trail, which cuts right through the Bennington Triangle. She was last seen by a group of hikers who said she was walking just ahead of them on the same path. But when they walked around the bend of the trail, she was gone.
And this was in broad daylight. There was no bad weather that day and no cliffs to fall off of. It was just a straight trail, and she was nowhere to be seen. The disappearance triggered one of the biggest search efforts in Vermont's history. Hundreds of people came out to search for her, along with helicopters and tracking dogs. They even brought in a psychic, but nothing was ever found. No body, no clothing, not even signs of a struggle.
And the weird thing is that some reports say a man in another town claimed he saw Paula get into a car with an unknown man. But there was never any proof of that happening. No leads at all.
By this point, people were already getting freaked out. But then it happened again. December 1st, 1949, exactly 3 years to the day after Paula Weldon vanished, a veteran named James Tedford disappeared. But the crazy thing is, he wasn't in the woods, he was on a bus.
Yeah, this one's even more odd than the last. Tedford was a resident at the Bennington Soldiers' Home, and he was coming back from a trip to visit family. He got on the bus with several witnesses seeing him sit down, but when the bus reached Bennington, he was gone.
His suitcase was still on the bus and his timetable was left on his seat, but he was nowhere to be found. The driver and the passengers swore they never saw him get off. It was like he just vanished mid-ride.
By now, people were wondering if something supernatural was happening. Then, in 1950, it got even worse because this time it was a child.
On October 12, 1950, 8-year-old Paul Jepson was with his mother near their farm when he wandered off. His mom only had been gone for a few minutes, but when she came back, he was nowhere to be seen.
Search teams with track dogs all went looking for him. And the dogs actually did pick up his scent. They followed it up to a major road, but the scent just ended there. No sign of where he went, no clues at all. It was like he was picked up by something, or someone.
And then, just 16 days later, the 5th and final disappearance took place. On October 28, 1950, a woman named Frida Langer was out hiking with her cousin near Somerset Reservoir. At one point during their hike, she tripped and fell into a stream, so she told her cousin she was going to go back to camp to change out of her wet clothes.
Their camp was less than a mile away, but she never made it. When the cousin got back, Frida wasn't there.
Now, this case is different from the others, because months later, they actually found her body.
But that just made it even weirder. They found her 7 months later, in an area that had already been searched multiple times, and her cause of death was ruled completely unknown.
5 people, 5 years, all gone without a trace except one, and even she's a mystery. No bodies, no evidence, and no logical explanations.
Some people think it might have been UFOs. Others say it could be a serial killer, but there is no evidence of that either. The Native Americans believed Glastonbury Mountain was cursed, that it had a man-eating stone that swallowed people whole. And honestly, at this point, it's just as good an explanation as any.
Some say it could be a rogue mountain lion, but there's zero physical evidence of an attack. And if it was an animal, you'd expect at least some remains to be left of the missing people.
Or maybe it's something more unexplainable. Some hikers have reported strange lights in the area. There have even been Bigfoot sightings around Glastonbury Mountain. People say there is something in those woods, something that doesn't want to be found.
So whatever happened to the people in the Bennington Triangle, no one really knows. The only thing that's certain is several people went missing, and no one has ever found out why.
Maybe it was bad luck, maybe it was something else. Either way, if you ever find yourself hiking in Glastonbury Mountain, keep your eyes open.
And if you like these type of videos, maybe check out one of these. Subscribe!